Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have the Lost Grimoire of Skyrim. This is a spell package mod that adds over 120 spells to the game. They come with custom visuals and they're distributed evenly across the 5 magical schools. The mod aims to be fair and balanced, while also seamlessly fitting in alongside the vanilla spells. So there's no special quest to obtain them or anything like that. Instead you'll find them in loot, on merchants and wherever else you usually find vanilla spells. The spells were designed to open up more magical playstyles and to make magic feel more useful. So you'll find spells that let you play as a certain type of mage that you couldn't in vanilla. So for example there's a new transformation master spell under Alteration. This adds a similar system to the one found in the Wrath of Nature mod, albeit a simplified version. The spell opens up a menu where you can choose from one of 4 transformations. There's the Forest Guardian, the Venomous Hunter, the Nordic Totem and the Fleet Messenger. Each come with their own attacks, power attack and special ability. For example, the Forest Guardian can call nearby creatures to its aid, and the mighty roar of the Nordic Totem will scare nearby enemies. There's also a variety of new stealth-oriented destruction spells, so now you can play as an assassin mage hybrid while only using magic. These include silent touch spells where you have to get up close and personal, just like an assassin. You then either attack directly with an element, or be a little more tactful and use something like the firebomb spell. This will turn a target into a living bomb that will explode after 10 seconds, giving you just enough time to flee the scene. The mod also makes it so all destruction spells benefit from sneak attacks, so you'll definitely want to spec into both your destruction and sneak trees if you want to take on this type of playstyle. On top of the new stealth spells, there's a whole host of destructive spells that come with unique effects for more tactful gameplay. So instead of just blasting every enemy with firebolt, you can use something like the new Hellfire spell to basically create a living, walking torch that burns everywhere they walk. The new master spells include summoning Flameheart, a fiery horse that damages anything it touches. There's also Absolute Zero, which causes your frost spells to instantly freeze and potentially even shatter the enemy. And finally you can also use Skyfall to instantly call lightning from the sky. The new illusion spells come with the most variety. There's a good mix of spells for combat, including several that are confuse, anger or control a target. However, there's even more useful spells for outside of combat. You can use your illusion magic to artificially boost your bartering skills, allowing you to sell stolen goods and even bribe your way out of crimes. You can also use the glamour spell while wearing faction gear to disguise yourself as a member of that faction, similar to the feature added by the Master of Disguise mod. A master illusion spell by the name of Enthrall will make the target a permanent ally of the player, and it'll even let them become a follower. And if you unlock the Master of the Mind perk, it'll also work on the undead and machines, so you can pretty much turn any non-essential NPC into your companion, which is another really handy feature. The new Conjuration spells involve a bunch of new summons. There's the Direwolf familiar, the Lingering Shade and his trusty companion, and there's even a Mammoth. On top of that there's also a few new pieces of spectral gear, including a shield, staff and crown. The staff and shield are pretty straightforward and are just like the vanilla conjured weapons. However, the crown is a master spell, and as such comes with a powerful ability. It lets you summon familiars at a 0 cost to mana, and it also increases your summon limit by 1. The other master spells are summons, and they include the Dremora Seducer, who will attack with Hellfire and bewitch male opponents. And finally there's also the Ancient Lich, a powerful undead monster that curses the living and enslaves their souls, forcing them to fight for you. So for Conjuration there's a lot more of the same, but there's some pretty unique twists in there too, especially in the master spells. For Alteration we already covered the new transformation ability, but there's also plenty of other great new spells. You can bring together stones from the ground to create a stone golem that takes no damage from arrows, but is weak to ice. You can also shrink or enlarge a target, causing them to deal and take less or more damage. On top of that, you can also make use of new maneuvering spells like Featherlight, which reduces fall damage by 90% unless you walk on water. Or you can even shapeshift some flightless wings for increased speed. And then to top it all off, there's a couple of teleporting and time stopping abilities too, so lots of new situational spells that can be extremely useful if used correctly. And finally we reach Restoration. Usually the most tame of the magical schools, the mod adds some much needed aggressive spells to spice things up a bit. You can now make use of a variety of new plagues, poisons and debuffs to slowly damage enemies over time. There's also several new spells that heal, buff or support nearby allies, which can be great if you really want to play a support role with plenty of followers. The new master spells also help that type of playstyle. You can now resurrect allies with a new resurrection spell, or you can cast Phoenix Song to heal nearby allies for 250 health and yourself for 300. However, this will drain all of your magicka and stamina, so it's meant as a last ditch effort to save your allies and yourself. And finally you can also cast Dread Cocoon. This will plant the egg of a poisonous creature inside a nearby corpse. The creature will then feed away at the corpse for 15 seconds until it hatches, at which point it will go around feeding on nearby enemies, spreading disease as it attacks them, so it's a pretty unique spell to end with. Overall, the Lost Grimoire opens up a lot of new magical playstyles, but what we like the most about it are all the other useful features. Like being able to disguise yourself as a faction member, or being able to turn almost any other NPC into your follower, or even the new druidic transformations. They're features found in other mods, but sometimes having them all together and all integrated in a similar way makes for an easier system. So if you're interested in giving it a go, then you can find everything you need down below. If you're in between playthroughs right now, then be sure to check out g2a.com for some cheap games. They have sales every now and then, and you can also get an extra 3% off using our code MODS at checkout. As always, be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy, and thanks for watching.